We're in Hawaii and at the Pali Pass. The wind is so strong that I can't hold the camera steady. You remember the story of the guy who jumped over and was blown back. And this is the R&R area on the east side of the island, north of Diamond Head. I always dreamed of going to Hawaii. Rush and I are walking in the surf. And what could be better than sitting under a palm tree and eating coconut? These kids dove in for tossed coins, hollering, "Over here, mister, over here." The dancer's mother is playing the guitar, so the dancer keeps saying, "Watch my hands, that's what tells the story." Do you remember the sailor? A great spot for surfing on the north coast of Hawaii. And miles of pineapple fields. The statue of King Kamehameha near the Royal Palace. And beautiful bird of paradise flowers. Here we're eating hamburgers with Heaton and McCutcheon. Back on the ship, Jack Heaton challenges everybody. That's the USS Boxer. Out on the horizon is the Antietam. This is a flashback. We're on our shakedown cruise in the Caribbean just north of Trinidad, practicing a man overboard drill. Ensign Minton from the S Division is in charge. And then back in the Pacific, we're firing at a towed sleeve. USS Topeka. Maneuvers at sea with the light cruisers USS Topeka, Oklahoma City, Dayton, and Duluth, plus the destroyers Larson, Hanson, and Goodrich. Actual battle shots taken by Wingelmeyer. We are bombarding Muroran, a steel-producing city on the southern coast of the North Japanese island of Hokkaido, the New Jersey and the Iowa, with the North Carolina almost on the horizon. You can see the shake when the concussion from the firing reaches us. Taking aboard a pilot as we come into the harbor at Sasebo. We tie up to the Oklahoma City. Is that Stowe or Davis? Lieutenant Dahl flies the SC-1 around Sasebo's harbor. Then the Commodore comes up in his duck to be hoisted aboard. He probably flies it to keep up his flight pay. Airing bunting. Good old SC-1, the Commodore's flag. And just a sweep around Sasebo Harbor. The Union Jack proudly flies. Some terraced fields along the hillside of the harbor. And the captain's gig. The Hanson and Lawson tied up alongside each other. These next scenes are all taken in the city of Sasebo. All the people and those cute little kids that came running when we drove up in the Jeep. This is at the marketplace where they sell a lot of fish and squid. Where buildings had been bombed and burned, they immediately planted gardens for food. Lieutenant Minton with our Jeep. We're now on the school grounds where these young kids are playing an aggressive form of spin the top. McCutcheon and I try out their sliders. McCutcheon received smiles and thanks for his gift of cigarettes. And this monkey high up on a house enjoyed having candy thrown up to him, which he would carefully unwrap. Atom bomb or not, they were always eager to sell us a souvenir, and then we would pile into an LST and be brought back to the ship. With McCutcheon and Leppert at Mr. Kitamura's house. We then walked up into the hills around Sasebo. A young man came alongside and indicated that he would be our guide. The sights, sounds, and smells were interesting. When we broke out the cheese sandwiches, our voluntary guide was thrilled. A commanding view of the harbor. Fortifications, radar, and dug-in tunnels were everywhere. There would have been a terrible loss of life if we had had to invade this coast as we did in Iwo Jima and Okinawa. A small fire to keep warm as we observed the terraced hills and the cherry blossoms. First-class transportation. Arita is a pottery-making town about 25 miles from Sasebo. Councilman McCutcheon and Leppert are changing a flat tire on the Jeep. One advantage of taking pictures is that the other guys get to do the work. The beautiful farmland around Arita. Wingelmeyer takes pictures of the devastation in Nagasaki, where the second atom bomb was dropped. On a hilltop was a prisoner of war camp where they kept Dutch prisoners captured in Indonesia. Bones are all that was left of bodies vaporized by the atom bomb. Ground Zero. Mitsubishi aircraft plants. In a hospital located in the basement was the Japanese Army headquarters for the area. The Shinto shrine survived the blast, as did other concrete structures. And in the distance, a bombed-out church. There was an eerie silence in Nagasaki. There were no cars, no people, no shops, no manufacturing, not even leaves or grass to rustle in the wind. Silence. I'm taking a few still pictures of the rubble. destroyed gas storage and power generation plants. An entire area just wiped out. The city of Nagasaki is divided by a sharp elevation of rock, and the area beyond that was spared the devastation of the blast. You can see the shake from the concussion of an eruption of Mount Sakurajima we had put in at Kagoshima in southern Honshu. We thought it might be interesting to climb to the top. These young fellows acted as our guides. We're above the tree line here. And we're climbing on a cone of ash. It's one step forward and a half a step sliding back. It's exhausting. Some thought it would be a great idea to get some big boulders and throw them down, watching them pick up speed as they roared to the bottom. Somebody's always hamming it up. In the crater of the extinct volcano, we marked the spot, CL 104. That's Jack Heaton. And all these scenes are near the top of the volcano. Then it happened again, a huge explosion from the side of the volcano, spewing ash, rocks, and boulders hundreds of feet into the air, continuing to billow and roar upwards. This is Migdal from the F Division. It was almost as hard going down as it was coming up, but it was a whole lot more fun. And at the bottom were some juicy oranges. We had been up there, and it was beautiful. And then an LST came in to pick us up and bring us back to the ship. The Commodore and his staff leave the ship in Tokyo Bay, near Yokosuka. We returned to Agana Harbor in Guam, and McCutcheon climbed the palm trees. Inland, they just dumped the casualties of war. beautiful Lover's Leap Point in Tumon Bay.